Hey church, Pastor Adam Koo here. Great to be with you. We are on day 30 in the Red Letter Challenge. We're continuing on in our week of giving. And today, in today's passage on day 30, the red letters that Pastor Zender points out to us today are from Matthew chapter 25, verse 36. And it's a continuation of what we read yesterday, where Jesus says, "I was naked and you gave me clothing." And again, it's that passage where Jesus is talking about, how we show people our love, how we show our love for God, how we clothe people. And as I was reading this passage, I was thinking about my father. Now, my father, he was a missionary's kid, and so he moved around a good bit as a young guy. But he used to semi-joke that if you really want to know what you need, just move every 5 years. And I was thinking about that in relation to myself, especially in my most recent move into our current place where we live. How we moved all these clothes, and I'm trying to fit them into our new closet. And I'm looking at them, and I'm thinking, why do I have all this stuff? And as I started to go through some of the clothes, I realized it was stuff I had been holding on to, hoping that one day maybe I might fit into them again. And initially I thought that this challenge wouldn't be much for me today because I'm somebody who's guilty of wearing clothes until they start getting holes. And yet I looked at these other clothes that I'm holding on to, and I've been holding on to them for longer than I'd like to admit. And yet I believe, as I think about it, it's how other people could be getting a lot better use out of them than I am. There's other people who could enjoy these clothes while for me, they're just occupying space. And I think that's true for a lot of us. Maybe you're not holding on to clothes more than they might fit you better, but I think a lot of us do have excess. It's kind of similar to what we talked about a little bit yesterday about having excess in our pantry. God has entrusted each of us with different things where we could use them to further His kingdom, where we could use them to help other people who are in need of these things. And so today's challenge for us today is to go through some of those excesses of our clothing, whether it be maybe excess clothing in your closets or your drawers. How could you help some people out, especially as we are getting into these colder months of the year? Maybe you have an extra coat, or if you've got some extra finances, you could afford to go and buy somebody some coats, or maybe you could run a sock drive. As a lot of the homeless shelters say, one of the most requested things are socks. What can you do with the excesses that God has entrusted you with to go and further His kingdom and show people His love that's working through you? And I think that's a pretty great thing that some of us forget to stop and think about. So how can I use these excesses, whatever that excess may be? Maybe your excess is a talent, and we'll talk about that later. But how can you use what God has given you to further His kingdom? Brothers and sisters, as we're continuing on with this challenge, remember, I'm praying for you every day that you're staying strong, especially this week. This week challenges a lot of us. But how can we use those excess gifts? May you stay strong in this challenge. And may you remember that wherever you go, whatever you do, you are on the King's business. God bless you, everyone. We'll see you next time.